Britney Spears is 17 years old and she's on top of the world. From small-town Louisiana, she has topped the Billboard charts with a debut #1 album and single, and is undoubtedly the hottest property in show business. Britney's not new to entertaining, though, and she has been climbing the ladder since the age of 6, and she hasn't stopped climbing yet. Britney's mother, Lynn, recognized her talent early and has helped every step of the way, but the driving ambition to be a star has always come from Britney herself. Her catchy single, Baby One More Time, has been an international bestseller, and despite an injury to her knee, she has toured widely to promote the song. Her #1 debut album was recorded in mid-1998, and she originally started as the warm-up act for boy band NSYNC, and toured with them, opening to thousands of screaming girls.
She's the biggest thing to come out of Louisiana in years. The fact is that Louisiana, though, has a rich music history, and there's been so much incredible music talent here. New Orleans, Lafayette, and Baton Rouge, the blues music, the jazz music, the country music up in North Louisiana. So it's not that big a surprise that you would have a huge artist like Britney come from such an incredibly musical state.
Britney grew up in the small God-fearing town of Kentwood, Louisiana, population 2,500. And it was formerly known for only two things: spring water and dairy cows. Her mother, Lynn, ran a preschool and daycare center for little kids when Britney was small, and there she made some of her earliest friends.
Kentwood's a wonderful little place. It's small, and it has a lot to be desired in some of the cultural aspects, but because it is small, our crime is low. Our traffic is low. You know everybody you meet on the street. You can ask anybody you need for help. You can get help anywhere you are. It's very nice. It's something that America's losing, and we like it. We like to keep it that way.
Real proud. I have a daughter that lives in New York, and she's calling me all the time, telling me things that she hears about Britney, I have two younger sons here that are in college, and there's nowhere that they go that they say they're from Kentwood. The first question is not, do you know Britney Spears?
Brittany grew up next door neighbor. In our small town, everybody knows Brittany.
She's very close to my daughter. She and my daughter are first cousins, not only first cousins, but they're best friends. And when she comes home, she still likes to do just the average things that the young girls do around here. She went to therapy the other night, and she called me and she said, "Oh, Aunt Sandra, is Laurelyn home?" That's my daughter. And I said, "No, she's not, baby." And she said, "Oh, but we're going out tonight." And I said, "Well, she's done all these marvelous things in New York and California, and she can come home just to this little place in Kentwood, and ain't it, and just be satisfied to ride around with her friends." So she's down to earth.
I grew up with Britney, and I just have like a lot of great memories that we had together as friends and everything.
Lynn and I, which is Britney's mother, used to take the girls to the grocery store when we would shop over in Macomb, and we'd have the radio playing as we were driving, and at 3 years old, she would just belt out these lyrics to different songs that was just amazing to me.
Oh yeah, I try to sing with her, but I wasn't very good at it. We sing in the car and everything, and they pick on me, but Britney, she kind of outdid me there with the loud voice and good singing.
At a very young age, Britney has always practiced singing. I remember listening to her and her little friends on their back porch with the microphones, and they would start early in the morning and sing all day long. They've always had a good time. She's always enjoyed music.
She's my first cousin. Our mothers are sisters, so we've grown up together. And I can't ever remember a time that we weren't together or a family holiday that she wasn't here. We love to play with baby dolls. So we play all day, every day. Every day we're together, that's what we would do.
We played dolls, collected porcelain dolls. Even now, the girls collect their porcelain dolls from Miss Connie's in town. She has a nice little store there that the girls, every Christmas, that's what they look forward to, is a new doll from Miss Connie's.
And they had their doll parties and their tea parties and sleepovers at each other's house.
We would have doll pageants. We had our little baby dolls and the whole friends. We would invite 10 or 12 of our friends, and they would have to bring their dolls. You know, they couldn't be in the pageant. And so it was a big ordeal. We would have to get judges, and we were really serious about this.
They had collected, the girls did the American doll collection, and each one of them had one. And they would have slumber parties with their little dolls, and they would have beauty pageants. Yeah, they would have the talent contest, and there was about 4 or 5 girls trying to get their makeup on all at once, you know, in the same bathroom. I have got pictures of them, you know, with their rollers in their hair and their makeup half done.
Yeah.
And then I have pictures of the finished product. They turned out to be very lovely ladies.
And I think they've made a bond there that'll carry them on. They may not see each other very often through the years, but that bond's strong. Small towns tend to do that to you. It's kind of like a family bond.
I've known Britney since she was a very small child. When she was like 7, 8 years old, I saw her perform at one of the Kentwood Dairy Festival pageants as an entertainer. She sang and then laid the microphone down and did this cute little tap dance and just did a fantastic job. I sat there in awe because I couldn't believe what a voice that child had, and she was so small to have such a large voice. And I just felt like then she was going to be somebody one day.
Britney has always been irrepressible, and she's been singing all her life. Whether it was in the back of an auto or in the dentist's chair, she's got music in her veins. Britney's first public performance was at the age of 4 when she stood up in church and surprised everybody. She was then an itty-bitty scrap of a thing, but her voice was bigger than she was. In the town's dairy pageants and local festivals, she was a big hit. As these photos show, except for her God-given singing talents, she was just a normal kid in every way.
This is Brittany and Elizabeth. I believe they're either 2 or 3 years old here. Brittany had spent the night with Elizabeth, and I had put them to bed for the night, and I heard them giggling in there, so I knew something was going on. And they had taken my sconces off of the walls and taken the little votive cups that had the candles in it off the wall, and they were playing with them, and they just thought they had done something special, and they did. But they were just giggling about it. That was just the funniest thing to them, to have taken those candles off my wall.
I'm a hairdresser, and I have done Britney's hair probably for the last 5 years. But I can tell you a story about Britney. Whenever she first went to New York, she had just signed her contract with Jive, and she had been over there several months, and she was fixing to do her first photo shoot. So we had put in a few highlights in her hair, and it was time to get them touched up before her photo shoot. So she went to a hairdresser over there and thought she was just getting a few more highlights. And she called me. It was about 11 o'clock, and I was working doing hair, and she said, "Miss Kelly," she said, "my hair is orange." She said, "What can I tell him to do? He's gone, he's mixing something up, and it's a mess." And I said, "Well, baby, I'm not there." I said, "I can't see what he's put in your hair, and I don't know. It's really hard to tell you." I said, "Just try and see if he can make it back brown." I said, "And then we can start over from there." So I didn't hear anything else the rest of the day. And the next day, whenever I had a break from work, I called. And I said, Britney, how was your hair? She said, well, it's better, but it is not right. She said, and I think they're going to let me come home this weekend. And I told them, I do not want to go to anybody else. I'm coming home. Miss Kelly knows how to fix my hair, and I want her to do it. So she did. She made it home the weekend, and Jive paid for me to fix her hair.
Britney became a patient in our practice in the late 80s. She was concerned about her teeth because she was entering the world of theatrics and wanted to have a beautiful smile. And so her mother, Lynn, contacted us, and she became a patient in our practice.
She came in the office because I practice here with my mother. And it's been really neat because I didn't quite realize how famous she was becoming, but all along I'd kept tabs on her because I thought it was really neat that somebody from this area was even on TV, you know, even when she was in Mouseketeer. I just thought that was so cool that she was even on TV.
She's always been very talented. She was born with talent, I think. And the very first time we saw the home videos, we knew that she had that special something that was going to get her to the top.
Britney is everything. She has the whole package. It's so well put together. She's a pretty young girl. She's a normal girl in a lot of ways, like a lot of the girls who buy her records. On the other hand, she's wanted to do this since she was 2 years old, 4 years old. 4 years old, her first performance in church. And she's pursued this all these years. So if she's an overnight sensation, it's only because she's been working at it for 15 years.
Well, she was younger than 8 years old when she started gymnastics, and they thought she had a great ability for that, and they sent her to Houston to train for the Olympics. And she was so young at the time, and she didn't want to stay. They would have left her for 3 months. So they brought her home, and they just kept with the dancing, and she started singing.
Oh, Britney's been special all her life. She's one of these little girls who is a normal, typical little girl. Grew up doing the same things, but she always stood out. She was always singing and dancing, and whether they're on the trampoline performing while they're bouncing or whether they're in front of the video cameras with us, hey, get me doing this, get me doing this. But she always excelled. Everything Britney has ever done, she's done well. Whether it was her gymnastics, her dance, her schoolwork, anything she's ever tried, she's achieved and done more than ordinary. She's been better than average in everything she's done.
When she comes in, I just think this is really neat. When she comes in to have any dental work done, she sings the whole entire time. I have never, that's what you notice, like I try and kind of keep my eye on her and just see what does she do different that other kids her age, you know, do. And she sings. I mean, the radio's going, she's singing everything that's on the radio the whole time when you're coming in or out of her mouth or whatever. She's humming or singing, and as soon as you're out of her mouth, then the words are coming again. And I think that's pretty neat. I think that I've seen a lot of kids through here, and that's the first person I've seen actually just constantly wanting to sing. And I just think that that's pretty neat.
I went to school with Britney from first grade up until about the ninth grade, because she left to go be on the Mickey Mouse Club. Third grade, she became very popular. My mom taught her.
I teach at Park Lane. I've been here for 23 years. I taught third grade when Britney was in my room, and now I'm teaching fifth grade math. The only way you would know that she could sing is if you watched her perform, or someone told you. She was not one to go around bragging to people saying, I can sing and I can sing well. She was very personal about that, which was good because the other children wanted to be near her because she was good and kind instead of boastful about it.
The song is so catchy. It's you cannot not be seduced by the song. And you had Max Martin produce the song, write the song. Max is behind NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, Ace of Base. The two of them were the perfect combination.
She gave me a birthday present. She gave me, it was a cute little teddy bear wearing a sundress, and it had a picture frame attached to it, and I just thought that was the greatest thing because Britney gave that to me, and she was all popular and everything. I felt really special to get a present from her.
A couple of years she did the national anthem. She would sing every year that she was here in elementary as far as I can remember. And my mother and daddy were in the stands because of my daughter that's Britney's age, and they knew Britney. And some of the people around her were saying, "That's not that little girl singing. She's pantomiming." And my mother and daddy were up there going, "No, that's her." And they said, No, she's belting it out. No child has lungs like this. She can't do this. So it was just phenomenal, even at that age, that she had such a strong voice. Britney was going to sing the national anthem at Grandparents' Day, and Lynn called to ask if I could go over with Britney because she was not nervous, but maybe just needed a little watching over, and her daddy had brought her, so I fluffed her hair and tied her bow, and I'm sitting there, and she gets to the microphone, and she stops to think, and she scurries over to where I am, yanks her retainer out of her mouth, plops it in my hand, and goes back to sing. And I thought, this is really good because teachers want children to feel comfortable with them, and I thought, you would not give your retainer to someone that you weren't comfortable with. So that's one of my comical, fond memories that I have of her.
At age 8, she tried out for the Mickey Mouse Club TV show, but Disney said she was too young no matter how talented. Mouseketeers normally range from 13 to 17 years old. Instead, she went to New York with her mother and baby sister Jamie Lynn, where she landed an off-Broadway part in the play Ruthless, and roles in several TV commercials. She also did spots on Candid Camera, The David Letterman Show, and Saturday Night Live. At 10, she took part in the TV talent show Star Search and sang Love Can Build a Bridge.
When she was 8 is when they sent her to California, and she tried out for the Mickey Mouse Club. She was too young, but they said her talent was so much that they couldn't just dismiss that even at that age. So her mother sent demos to New York, and they discovered up there the talent that she had. And so they asked her to come up there to go to the performing arts schools. She was up there about 2 years, and she got a part on an off-Broadway play, and she stayed. She loved New York. She didn't want to leave it at the time.
She went to New York to audition for an off-Broadway musical when she was in 3rd grade in my room. And she was so talented, and she loved to perform. And she just had her own style that when she had a crowd to sing to, she loved it. And knowing where she was going and what she was going to try to do, I just knew that she had a future somewhere. In fact, I'm sentimental. I even kept her workbooks at the end of the year that year. I thought, well, I'm going to have some memorabilia that nobody else will have.
No, we were really excited for Britney. She had phoned home, and they had told us that Macaulay Culkin had invited her over to watch movies at his house or something, you know, and that was really exciting for us.
Britney loved being in New York and really didn't want to come home for good when, after 2 years, Mother Lynn and the 2 girls went back to Kentwood.
While she was at home, she came and spent a few weeks with us at the studio and took some classes. She was a wonderful pupil. She strived for perfection all the time. But unfortunately, duty called and she had to go back and tape some more Mickey Mouse Club.
Like, we always heard that she was like in the Mickey Mouse Club. Like, she was in that before she came to dance with us. So we always kind of knew she might be famous. She never really would sing for us or anything, so I never really knew how she sang because the last time I saw her was on Star Search.
I watched Star Search every week, and I didn't even know she was going to be on there, and I was just shocked because I was young too. She was only 10 when she was on it. And just, I couldn't fathom the fact that someone that I used to know was on Star Search. And then when she came back, I don't know, she was just amazing. And we would say, Britney, can you do this? Can you do this? And she'd be like, oh no, I can't do those very good. And we asked her to do some fouette turns, and she said, oh, I can't do those very good. And Miss Renee was like, well, just try them. Let's see how good you can do them. And then she did 8, and then this big finish. And Miss Renee was like, wow, I wish people that said they couldn't do that could do them like you. And we were just in awe of her. And she had a cold, and she was like, I need a Kleenex. Stuff keeps coming out my nose. I need a cough drop. She was just sick, but she could still do everything just so wonderfully.
There's like a little coffee shop at the mall. We like act like we were elegant and everything, and just drink our little coffee and eat our beignets and act like we're like sophisticated little young ladies and everything. We pretend a lot. We had a wild imagination.
Still itchy for her break on the Mickey Mouse Club, she finally succeeded at age 11 and became a Mouseketeer chosen from 15,000 other wannabes. For her audition, she sang a song called Running Back to You and gave a monologue called The Tooth Fairy. One of her fellow Mouseketeers was Justin, now with NSYNC.
This is me and Britney. This is Justin, that's now with NSYNC. And this is Nikki. They were all 3 little Mouseketeers at this time. We had got up that morning, we were carpooling and taking the kids to the studio there at Disney that morning.
When they heard that Britney was joining the Mickey Mouse presentation team, the townspeople of Kentwood organized a Britney Spears Day when they said goodbye to the child star.
Britney had, Mickey Mouse Club called her and she had gotten the part. We were just so proud of her. We wanted to do something, the whole town wanted to do something special for her. So we had gone to the mayor's office and he declared a special day, a Britney Spears Day. And we had put it together, and the little baseball team presented her with the cake, and the Lions Club presented her with roses, and different civic clubs had presented her with different things, and all of the town had done up their store windows with little Britney Spears things and Mickey Mouse things. You know, it was very nice, and the town just all pulled together just to let her know how proud we are for her. These are some of the storefronts, their windows, for our Britney Spears Day. This was April 24th, 1993. We had we had put together the Britney Spears Day, and our whole town participated. It was really a fun thing for everyone. These are some of the boys on the softball team that had presented Britney with a big, Mickey Mouse cake, congratulating her for making it on the Mickey Mouse Club. As you see, she's holding her t-shirt and some flowers and a plaque that different ones had presented her, different clubs in our town that had presented her with different things.
her day, that particular day, just was very joyful. You know, we just couldn't believe that one of our little ones from home had hit it big, and we felt like she'd hit it big. Just thank Disney World, Mouseketeer. It was really a great experience for all of us. We were just thrilled to death.
We had these T-shirts made up, and it has it just had Britney Spears fan club on there. I've got the T-shirt if y'all want me to bring it out.
So I think she's got more than just talent. I think maybe she has the look of the down-to-earth young lady, and I think our society's ready for that. You know, a lot of these outrageous performers, I think maybe we're getting tired of some of that.
Oh gosh, trampoline. We've had a blast on that. I think we were 8. We I don't know, we work on some dances, like really silly ones, you know, and we make up songs on it, just jumping around, and we dress up in costumes and everything, and we like do little skits and stuff we make up, and we get our moms out here and we show them and everything. And I remember she dressed up as a cat and I was like a little witch. It was very silly, but it was a lot of fun. We went follower riding. When we were 10, we thought it was a really big thing because my parents were just now letting me drive the four-wheeler, and it was like a big thing. She'd come over every week and she's like, let's go ride four-wheelers, let's go ride four-wheelers. Well, we went riding one day and we got the four-wheeler stuck in a big mud hole. I was so upset because I thought that my dad was going to get angry with me because we couldn't get it out. And he had to get the tractor to get it out, but at the end we were all laughing and cutting up about it.
And full of mud.
Oh yeah.
Mud from head to toe.
We were little because we danced since we were 2. Whenever I was there, she was there, and I didn't really know her because she took in Kentwood and I took in Hammond. But all our dances were the same, all our costumes were the same. And I just knew of her because just being on stage together, we used to play backstage when we were little. Then when she came in 9th grade, we would always put together these little, like, small dances just for fun. And we had partners, and Britney was my partner, and she could always do everything. And she was just so sweet and so nice, and I don't know, we didn't really think of her as a big, huge star. We just treated her like everybody else. And then we saw her at the Kentwood Dairy Festival, I think that the same year. But she was watching, and we were so busy running around that we didn't even have a chance to talk to her. So the last time I talked to her was in class, and I wish I would have realized it sooner that was her. I would have gone up to her and told her, hey, but the last time I talked to her was in class.
I remember when we went to gymnastics that we were there, she was like, I don't know, she was kind of like helping me out. Like, also, she's like also my teacher because we have like all these people trying to help us and everything and spot us, and she would like get it done and everything, and then she'd come back around and she'd come help Larlyn and me, and I don't know, she's very helpful.
I mean, my friends appreciate the fact that I know her. I mean, I'm sure some people are like, oh, you know, you don't know her or whatever, but I know that I knew her, you know, at one time and danced with her or whatever. So it's cool for me.
Like, people, whenever I told them that I used to dance with her, just because they have never known anybody that's known an international superstar, they were like, oh, well, that's not true. You didn't know her that well. And, like, it's people don't believe you because they're jealous. And, like, they don't need to be jealous of us, you know? They just need to appreciate how great she's doing and just wish her the best.
Britney stayed with the Mickey Mouse Club for 2 years, but came home sometimes and, of course, performed wherever she went. After that, her stays in her hometown were never likely to be long, but she never got too big for her boots. At home, she took to practicing with her old dance class, showing her star quality as always. When she returned home after Disney, Britney still had ants in her pants, and by the time she was 13, her father Jamie had contacted a well-known New York lawyer, Larry Rudolph. Mr. Rudolph contacted various recording companies and Britney cut a demo disc. The result was a recording contract with Jive Records, even though back then, no one could have predicted just how quickly Britney was going to break into the big time.
I coached teams Britney played on. We were just always together doing family things, and she was smaller and on up until she got gone doing her thing. She was more nervous about going out and playing a softball game than any of the other kids, or playing a basketball game than any of the other kids, even though she was good. But she wasn't nervous getting in front of a bunch of people, you know, singing or doing anything else, which normal kids would be terrified to do.
She's always been famous to me. I mean, anyone who gets up on a stage at a farm show and sings is famous, you know? I mean, that's neat. That immediately sets you apart from the other people, because I wouldn't get up on a stage and sing. So I think it's, to me, she's always been famous. I mean, even when she was this tall, I mean, anyone that can do that is pretty neat.
But there's one incident that just really sticks out to let you know how special a child that Britney is when the girls would be playing on the playground, and there's always sometimes a little fella or someone has been left out, you know, that would be playing by themselves. But the girls would all get together and they would be playing, and Britney would always kind of spot that child who was left out. And she would either go over there and get the child and include that child in with whatever they're playing, or she'd just go over there and sit and play with them if they didn't want to come over and play.
Even at age 8, the other kids sort of knew that she was going somewhere. And one of the things I remember about her is that some of the other girls wanted to say, "You can't play with Britney, I am." And she would come to me and say, "I want to play with all of them. I want to be their friend."
Britney has ants in her pants to go and do, and she's not satisfied with the normal or the ordinary thing that kids do around here. She gets bored, you know. I mean, she loves school, she loved playing sports, but if she wasn't busy all the time, you know, she would get bored.
And so they sent more demos into New York and everything, and Mr. Larry Rudolph was working with her. And with the connections they made, and with her mother's and her father's hard work, and they made it. And she's, you know, but we're all still kind of amazed, because we know how hard it is, you know, to make it in this business.
I try to see her as much as I can whenever she's home, but when she's home, she gets really busy. But whenever she has a spare time, I try to call her up and just see how she's doing.
Her knee, as I understand it, she was warming up for the next video she's doing. And in the warm-up, something happened. She's a very athletic person. And I'm afraid that what's happened being on the road so much, she hasn't been able to work the muscles and do as much, and she probably overdid a little. But with her perseverance, she'll come back from it with no problem. They'll fix it, and it'll delay her a little, but other than that, she'll do fine.
Yeah. Oh gosh, I called her up one day, but she was busy. I don't know. Photo shoot. Well, yeah, with a photo shoot or something, and I talked to her mom. I was like, "Is she okay?" Tell her I called and I'm worried about her and I want to know if she's all right and everything.
Of course, there's a good bit of talent in that family. She has a younger sister that's also extremely talented. Jamie Lynn is Brittany's younger sister who is just walks in her footsteps, you know, but she's talented also.
That would be quite an accomplishment to have two out of the same family from the same town hit it big and do well. That would be great.
Jamie Lynn did a commercial for Mississippi, a power company, and she was chosen over several hundred girls to get that commercial. And she's also was like an extra in a movie, and she's starring tonight in the play at Park Lane, the senior play. She's in that. So, but who knows what Jamie Lynn will do? She's got her own unique personality, and rather she'll follow exactly into Britney's footsteps, I don't know. She does have a wonderful voice.
See, Jamie Lynn here in the front was, while Britney was on stage singing, Jamie Lynn was out there mimicking her, you know, and actually she was singing. And when the audience would clap for Britney, Jamie Lynn, her little sister, would bow. She thought they were clapping for her. She was just so precious. But this is the same festival. After Britney had got through singing, she had changed into, you know, something, into her shorts and all, and we were just walking around the festival looking, and Jamie Lynn fell asleep.
After a concert in Baton Rouge, we got up at the stage. We screamed, and I didn't, but the kids screamed and hollered all around. It was loud. And we sing Justin and NSYNC, and she was really good. I'll be glad when she does one fully on her own, you know, more to see more of her.
I know when I get older, she can talk to Jive, and I could do that maybe.
In January, Britney came here with NSYNC and Bewitched on a triple bill at the Centroplex, and the show sold out in a record time, 20 minutes, probably on the strength of NSYNC. But by the time Britney got here with the show, she was #1 with Hit Me, Baby, Hit Me One More Time. And she was already, you know, already soaring. It happened so quickly. I don't think most people didn't see it coming.
Her next step, she was telling me, would be her own tour, as this past one when she was the opening act for NSYNC. Now she'll be doing her own, and I think that's just going to be wonderfully exciting.
Oh, when she had her concert in Baton Rouge, that was just so much excitement and so much fun we had here in, you know, Kentwood. We had all painted up our cars, you know, Britney Spears concert and Britney, we love you, and just all kinds of things. We met up at the plaza. It was, several hundred. I don't know how many. There was several. And we all rode together in a caravan and had like a little tailgate party once we got over to Baton Rouge.
She is what she is, and we haven't seen a lot of change in that so far, and I'm glad of that. She stayed herself. She hasn't become too big for her roots, and we admire her for that.
I mean, most people were just, all the ones I was around was just, you know, very proud of her, ecstatic. She was the first child, you know, anyone to come out of Kentwood and do something this big. And Britney always acts the same, though. She always acts the same to me and around me, and she's just a real sweet girl. She's just a real sweet girl. She's always been real sweet.
I don't know if I'll ever really think that she's a superstar. To me, she'll always be Britney.
I don't know, I still see her as my friend and everything, but it's kind of weird, you know, in a way, but I still see her kind of as the same person.
I would imagine that being a child star is hard for Britney and her family, but she has always remained the little local hometown girl, you know.
It's amazing because you just see that sweet little child Britney. She's still Britney to us.
See, she's warm and she's friendly, and she has more to offer. Her personality is not just a singer. She's a really warm, good person.
She's a very sweet girl, very down to earth, and I don't think she'll ever forget who she is and where she came from. And I think that's important when you get to be a name star entertainer like Britney is doing.
She's got a heart of gold, and she's not going to forget her friends. And she's going to have a wonderful life and a lot of fun, but she's going to remember where she came from.
We have VH1 and MTV calling our house every other day trying to get interviews. I like all that attention sometimes, but sometimes it's just overwhelming, you know?
It's great. It's great coming from a small town like this and seeing, you know, all the time and all the hard work that she's put into her career and see that it's paying off for her.
My age, having someone I know famous is like, wow. God, and then God, her touring with like my favorite group was even more amazing to me. That she actually knew NSYNC, and I actually knew her and had some connection. It's pretty cool.
She actually is traveling around with one of my roommates who is also in dentistry. She was a dental hygienist. And so through her, the person she travels around with, her and I keep tabs on, you know, what's going on, because it's just a neat world, what they're doing.
I think that Britney will always be the same hometown girl that she's been.
Some people are saying that, well, Britney's going to be a one-hit wonder, but she's so dedicated. She's such a hard worker. She's very ambitious. I think she has to drive to go forward from here.
Whatever she wants, it's available. She's making her way, and if she decides to go further, she will. I think she's in control of that, and she has a good, warm spirit. She has her faith. She's a Christian, and I think she's well guided in that. And if she feels like, you know, this is what she'll do, she'll go as far as she wants to with it.
I hope she goes all the way. I think she will, because she's very much talented. She's good at everything she does. If she goes in with a positive attitude, I know she's going to succeed.
My favorite memory? Well, I don't know. I guess maybe our get-togethers at Christmas. My mother was from London. She was a war bride. She met my father 1944. Immediately she came to the United States. And we would just have family get-togethers, all the children. They loved to play outside, and she and my daughter would make up dances, and every Christmas they'd have a certain dance that they'd make up. They'd go behind the house and wouldn't let anyone see them until they made this dance up, and they'd come in and they'd perform it to us. And there's just a lot of favorite things.
She's got a really close family. She's always had support from her family. I think that that's not something that you forget, that you can get away from. I think it's something you carry with you always.
She and her family, and they have hung in there, and they've done it. We're very proud of them. I mean, she is a great talent and a very nice person. Just a sweet, sweet child.
I don't see her stopping. I think she's a very ambitious girl. I think she'll continue on. I don't think that we'll have to worry about her fading out. She's doing what she loves to do. This is her life.
I think that's why she's where she is now. I think that God has a definite plan for Britney to be a role model. I think that's why she's been successful. The pop industry hasn't always had the best reputation, maybe, and Britney can give it a new look, a different view, that people can sing pop and not have the same image. They can have a good image, a clean cut. And I think that's what Britney is going to bring to the music industry.
What the future holds for Britney, we don't know, because after all the work, success came so quickly. But what we are sure of is that she has a terrific determination, a great attitude, and a will to succeed.